I am retired, but I worked in the environmental field from 1979 to 2014. I'm from the Bronx.
I'm an executive recruiter. I have my own recruiting firm.
I'm a journalist in Princeton, New Jersey. I cover local news and statewide news.
I'm a trained high school teacher in social studies, and I presently work with adult education, or what's called community education.
For most of my adult life, I was a parish priest in the Anglican Church of Canada. And now my main gig is I work as a psychotherapist. But I do some pastoral work on the side too.
I'm retired. I've been retired for now like 8 years. I formerly worked in the classical music business.
I came here to hear a concert by Kairos, the choral group, and immediately had this sense of connection and being in a good place.
I used to visit a retreat house that was a couple of miles up the road, and I would pass Holy Cross as I was driving up there. That retreat house closed, and I thought, well, let me see what Holy Cross Monastery is. And I looked it up online and came for a visit.
It was a church couple. They had gone to a retreat, and they came back and they said to me, hey, we went to this wonderful place and we think you'd just love it. It would really be for you. So I came and I just had this feeling at the door, like this feeling of peace, and like this was the right place for me to be.
I was coming up here with my spouse, and we were looking to go to the Culinary Institute and Hyde Park and everything on the other side of the river. And we decided to also do a Google search, what other sites were around here or things to see. And then I saw that they mentioned a monastery here, and Holy Cross Monastery, a Benedictine house, Episcopal. And I thought, oh my goodness, I have to see this.
When I moved back to Toronto in 2016, I knew hardly anybody. And I sought out the priory of Holy Cross Brothers there. And so I started going first occasionally and then quite regularly to visit them, to say Vespers with them, and then they would invite me for dinner, and so I became quite close to the brothers there.
My current parish, St. Luke in the Fields, does regular Advent and Lent retreats. So basically going up with a group of other people that I knew, I felt comfortable. And then as soon as I walked in the door, and I just felt a presence that drew me here. And I kept saying to myself, what took you so long?
Working here, volunteering in the library, I learned about the Associates program.
I might have met associates or maybe gone to an associates retreat. And I thought, well, these are interesting people. So how do I learn more about that?
I learned about the associates the first time I came here, but I just became an associate in December, and my official ceremony after probation is at the end of June.
I'm sure Brother Bernard quickly found me. I came here for a couple-day visit, and then I decided to come back for my own retreat, and at some point he asked me if I wanted to be an associate, and I said absolutely.
I guess it was probably a couple of years after I started going there for service that I decided I wanted to become an associate.
Brother Joseph, who was he was doing the associates program at the time, and he said, you should think about becoming an associate.
I naturally thought I would be an associate because in a way I'm like an anchorite. I'm an anchorite living 7 miles away. I moved from across the river to be closer to Holy Cross. It was that and is that important to me.
It was really the community of associates, the people that I met here on the weekends who encouraged me to be an associate.
This place has been like, an important anchor in my life, and really kind of a compass too in terms of my faith.
And it was actually coming in contact with a lot of young people who had come up from New York looking for a time to think and take stock, assess, do some writing. It was actually a very different type of people than usually goes to spiritual retreat centers, which are people my age and older. And so I saw these 20-somethings coming here, and I thought, I want to support a place that provides this for all sorts of people. And I also wanted a second home outside of my parish that was a spiritual home away from home.
I was finding my way back into a more disciplined form of spirituality. I've been kind of wandering for a few years, and being an associate seemed to be sort of the next logical step for me to give some structure to my spiritual quest, maybe.
What prompted me to become an associate was, I think it was just the fact that I could pray knowing that the community up here was praying at the same time.
Knowing that whether guests are here or not, the monks are still doing what they do. And coming here, it's kind of like stepping into this river of prayer and monastic life that keeps going. And that kind of feeds me and takes me back to, it's something I can bring back to my life.
I found that the particular form of monastic prayer just speaks to me in a way that, other forms don't.
The silence is so important to me, and I love the silent retreats they have.
It's this great, setting of community, but in a beautiful, natural environment that makes it perfect for a time of contemplation.
I leave here with a sense of calm, a sense of goodness, and a sense of community lived out.
I think the values that I see here practiced of, especially of balance and hospitality, are things that I take home with me, sort of refreshed every single time I come here.
And when I go visit the brothers, it's certainly a step out of the regular busyness of my life. It forces me to slow down.
We really need practices of monasticism in the world. We need to slow down. We need to be quiet. We need to do that thing which is the first word of the Rule of Benedict. Listen.
These ancient practices have everything. They are perennial, they're timeless.